Hey there, welcome back and thank you for joining me. My name is Pimi Pandey, and if this is your first time here, this is a space where we discuss all things to empower you to be able to move forward and create the kind of life that you would love to be living, the kind of career that you would love to lead, but for whatever reason you just haven't been able to. Maybe there are just too many challenges in your way and you don't know how to get over them. So today what I'm going to be discussing with you is something that I see happening a lot in my practice when I talk to people, and used to hamper my progress too as well. And that is where we've got some great plans and ideas, and when we start trying to execute them, we hit upon the first barrier and we just get stuck, frozen in our tracks, and maybe we don't know how to deal with it and we give up. So recently, actually, I was sent a great video, and that's what has inspired today. And it was an excerpt of an interview with Michael Caine by Sir Michael Parkinson, I believe. It's amazing. It's where Michael Caine is telling the story of his early days as an actor, where when he was about to perform on stage, something literally physically blocked his way, and I believe that was an upturned chair. And he had to say, I cannot get onto the stage. And I believe it was a co-actor that actually said to him, use the difficulty. Literally use what's in front of you and try to get inventive. How can you use that to create the solution? And thereupon it created for Michael Caine a kind of lifelong motto for himself. Well, that got me thinking about my own life. I've come across a lot of instances like this personally. One of them that springs to mind goes way back. It was when, as a young journalist, I wanted to get onto a master's program in London, and I really wanted to join the best school in London for that. There were two programs that I was interested in: international journalism and magazine journalism. And I put in my application for what I thought was the hard one, the international journalism. And I waited with bated breath. And in no time at all came back the news. It was a resounding no. And I was devastated. But I tried again. I put in a second application and it didn't work. It came back. It was a resounding no again, and I felt utterly dejected. I actually made a point of calling the admissions department. I remember having a conversation where they said to me, "We're sorry, but we are very strict. We only accept people who have degrees and first class passes." Now, I have to admit, I'd never been to university in my life. I was 30 years old, so I would be considered a mature student. And so I didn't have a degree, and certainly not a first class pass. I just had experience under my belt, but that just didn't seem to work with them. So I was really low. I remember discussing this with my best mate, and he said to me, if you wanted to get onto it that bad, you wouldn't give up and you would do everything you could to get there. So I started researching, and I looked for the names of the heads of these two programs that I was interested in. I found them. And lo and behold, I managed to find the numbers. As soon as the woman answered, I blurted out a few words, kind of tripped over those words. However, she stopped me in my tracks. She interrupted me. In fact, she started barking at me. She started asking where I got this number from, and I had no right to be calling her like this. In fact, I didn't even have a chance to respond because she immediately hung up on me. And I was a little bit worried about getting the same door slammed in my face. And then after a moment, I thought of my friend again. Anything I would do anything possible if I wanted it that bad. And I asked myself, do I want this bad? And I did. So I picked up the phone again and I called the second number. And the woman was in, and as luck would have it, she listened for a moment. She gave me enough time for me to just say to her, please don't put down the phone. My name is Pimi Pandey. I am a journalist. I have experience in X, Y, and Z. And I said, I haven't been accepted onto your program and I really want to get onto it. I know it's prestigious and it's my dream. Please, would you accept my application? After a moment of silence, she said to me, What I advise you to do is put in an application to the admissions department. And my heart sank. And I just immediately said to her, they haven't accepted me and I've tried twice. And she said, I advise you to put in an application to the admissions department and add a note to the top of your application saying that you have spoken to me. I am not promising you anything, but please do that. Go through the same channel again. I thanked her and I thought, oh my God, can I go through this again? I did make another application and I put a note on the front of my application. And I waited and I waited. And after some time, I got the letter in the post. And it was an unconditional offer from the head of the program. And I was floored. And I had to thank my best friend repeatedly. And now when I look back on that, I actually have to thank the woman who put the phone down on me as well, because she redirected my efforts towards where it was meant to go. Okay. When I analysed this, I could say that I used the difficulty there. I used the difficulty which was the administrations department, which was saying, no, I cannot get in. But when I analyse it further, in actual fact, the difficulty was my lack of self-belief. You see, if I'd had enough of self-belief in the first place, I wouldn't have needed someone to remind me that I had to work a little bit harder and muster up a lot more faith in myself to be able to keep trying. Because the simple fact is that you cannot afford to get stuck or frozen or stopped or give up. You just can't. Whatever it is that you need, if you want it that badly, you've just got to keep on going. It was when I was challenged to keep going that I had to look further within myself and dig deep and find that self-belief that I didn't have not so long ago. And actually it was after that first call where I was hung up on, which then challenged me further to ask myself, how badly do I really want this? And how much do I really believe in myself and my right, whether I was deserving enough to be on that program? So I want to challenge you today. Whatever it is that you are facing, whatever barrier you are facing, whatever it is that your mind is telling you, you do not have a right, you're not deserving to go forward and try for. I want you to ask yourself what the difficulty is. And I want to ask you to use it. I want you to find the solution in that difficulty. I want you to get creative and work around it. Don't just let it stop you and walk away. You owe it to yourself to use the difficulty to go after what it is you really want and that you really deserve. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please go ahead and like this video and please subscribe too. And by all means, I love hearing from you. So add your comments below. Tell me your stories. Ask me your questions. I always check them, and believe it or not, some of them inspire the videos that I make. I'm looking forward to speaking to you again soon. Take care. Bye.